Max Show MMA here with a video and many more to come. This video in particular is about Islam Makhachev and the possibility of him skipping welterweight to try to gain his second belt and instead skipping that weight class and going to middleweight at 185, trying to fight for that title to become champ. So let's get into it, man. So let's talk about the why, and then I'm going to talk about what I think will happen to him if he was to go to middleweight. So first off, a couple of people has already put their opinions on him going to 185. I'm gonna play a couple of sound bites, from a couple of people in regards to him going to middleweight. But let's talk about the reason why first. The reason why he would go to middleweight and fight for the title is because of the simple fact his friend and training partner, Bilal Muhammad, who just defeated Leon Edwards for the welterweight title, is the welterweight champion at the moment. So therefore, there is rumblings and possibilities of him skipping that weight class and instead going to middleweight to fight for the 185-pound title. This soundbite in particular is from Kevin Holland. He didn't necessarily talk about Islam going to 185, but he has some interesting comments, a couple of comments that I want to comment on that he said. So let's take a listen to what he got to say.
And obviously, you're someone who's bounced around weight classes, so you have some familiarity. You would be significantly larger person than him at 170 pounds. You don't think the size would necessarily be a limiting factor for him up there, right?
I think the way that those guys grapple over there, I don't think it would matter if you were a heavyweight. When they decide to get you down, they're going to get you down. They're persistent, they work hard, and they're really, really good at what they do.
Come on, bro. Zip it up when you're done, bro. Come on, man. Just straight dick sucking. Come on, bro. Oh, I don't think it'll matter if you were heavyweight. The way those guys wrestle and grab over there. Come on, man. Those guys, none of those guys ever moved up. Khabib, dominant champion, right? Dominant fighter. Never moved up to 170. I think I know why he ain't move up to 170, because he ain't want to deal with that Nigerian nightmare. That's just my personal opinion. He ain't want that smoke. I never seen, come on, man. And then we talking about Islam. Yeah, maybe he would have beaten Leon Edwards. We can't necessarily say that. Yeah. Recency bias. We just seen Leon lose to Bilal, but we don't know how that fight would have went. You know what I mean? It's a lot of factors to why I feel like Leon lost that fight, but that's another story for another day. But at the same time, you talking about these guys grappling with heavyweights and what they'll do to this person, that person. Well, we got to see it because we ain't seen it. Last I checked, the same Islam Makhachev that he talking about can just go up so easily and grapple with heavyweights. That's the same one that went life or death with Alexander Volkanovski, who is a 145-pounder. What are we talking about? So let's move on to the next soundbite. The next soundbite is Islam Makhachev head coach Javier Mendez. He's going to comment on the possibility of Islam moving to 185. Let's hear it.
So him defending that lightweight title is on track for that. Then after that, let's see what happens. Maybe Islam gains weight and goes 185. I mean, he'd have to gain weight, obviously, because that's a little big for him. But you never know. He's that good. I mean, pound for pound, number one for a reason.
And then last but not least, I'll let you guys hear a soundbite from Bilal Muhammad interview with the Schmo a little bit before he won the welterweight title about Islam possibly making that move up to 185 to fight for the title.
You spent some time training with Islam in that camp. Would you welcome him to fight at 170 if you're the champion and he wants to go up and fight for champ status in this weight division?
No, I would never fight him. He's my brother, right? But like I said it a couple months ago where I said I think he can literally go up to 185 and win the belt. People don't know how big he is and how strong he is and how talented he is. I think if he didn't have to cut weight, 185, he could still go out there and beat these guys. He's as big as these guys. I've seen Duplessis. I've seen Adesanya in person. And with Islam's set of skills, I think he could dominate a lot of these guys up there.
Fuck out of here, man. Come on, man. What are we talking about? The same Islam that just went life or death with a 145-pounder. I'm supposed to believe he's going to go all the way up 40 more pounds to 185 to face the best middleweight in the world and take the belt off him? Stop it, man. He couldn't even keep and take down a Volkanovski. He just went through a war with Dustin Poirier. Listen to this, he was 5 of 16 for takedown attempts against Dustin Poirier. And when he did take Dustin down, he could not keep him down. And this is a Dustin Poirier, much love to Dustin. He got some of the worst takedown defense and the worst grappling IQ I've seen. And that's the guy he couldn't keep down. nor even takedown a lot of times. So let's talk about the possibilities of the champions at 185, right? You got Dracus du Plessis, DDP, who is the current middleweight champion right now at 185. He's a great grappler, okay? He has punching power. He has knockout power. We seen that when he finished Whitaker, and who's much bigger than Islam. Come on, man. Moving on to Stylebender. Israel Adesanya will pick Islam Makhachev apart. That'll be a grade A ass whooping for 5 rounds if Islam can even take that type of punishment, because he would not be able to take or keep Izzy down. Izzy is one of the best at keeping the fights in the center of the octagon. Those Dagestani wrestlers love going up against the cage. They love pushing people back up against the cage. They love pushing fighters back up against the cage and do their little tricks and their little ways to get you down, with trips and hip tosses and stuff like that. That's where they most comfortable at taking you down, up against the cage. Bilal Muhammad employed that same tactic when he went up against Leon. He backed Leon up with a lot of pressure, had him up against the cage, had him thinking too much, got him up against the cage. That's how they like to wrestle. Izzy don't let you get that far. He keeps it in the center of the octagon. Islam and those other Dagestani wrestlers are not that good if they don't have you up against the cage. If they don't have you up against the cage, they shooting for their life, diving for dear life. Izzy would pick them apart. Next, we going to, I know he don't want none of Khamzat. He wouldn't dare fight Khamzat. He wouldn't dare. I think that'd be a mauling. He'll maul Islam Makhachev. He would finish Islam Makhachev, in my opinion. Robert Whitaker, great takedown defense, great striker. Whitaker would probably actually do Islam worse on the feet than Izzy, because Robert Whitaker is much more aggressive. He's much more aggressive. Izzy like to pick his shots. He's very, very precise. Robert Whitaker is very aggressive, especially when he's blitzing and doing all this other stuff. And Whitaker, he's mixing his own takedowns and all of that stuff. So again, these are top guys. Even Sean Strickland has great takedown defense. Great takedown defense. These are bigger guys at 185, so I'm not understanding this talk of him going to 185 when he's struggling with 145 pounders and can barely get 155ers on the ground and keep them there. So again, I just think it's stupid. I think he should just defend his belt at 155 and wait for the opportunity at 170 to open up, because I don't think Bilal is going to have that belt long. I think he's going to end up going up against Bilal. I think Bilal Muhammad is going to end up going up against Shavkat, and Shavkat is going to take the belt off of Bilal Muhammad, in my honest opinion. Now, Bilal could prove me wrong. I could very well see Bilal winning that fight. I think he can win that fight. I just got Shavkat winning. And if whenever Bilal loses, which I think will be sooner rather than later, that'll open it back up for Islam to go to 170. That's more doable. That's more plausible. But going to 185 is just silly talk, in my opinion. And I would not advise that for him. So that's my take on Islam possibly going to 185 for double champ status. Like the video, subscribe. More videos will be coming soon. Peace.